Here are a few words that will lead to your success in life. You don't need to live your life in pain and poverty till you die. Take this advice, write it out, keep it, and cherish it with everything you have. Let it be the roadmap of your life, and you will see yourself on top of riches and happiness. Here are the few advice to success. It would be thought a hard government that should tax its people 1/10 part of their time to be employed in its services, but idleness. Taxes many of us much more. Sloth, by bringing on diseases, absolutely shortens life. Sloth, like rust, consumes faster than labor wears, while the used key is always bright, as Poor Richard says. But does thou love life? Then do not squander time, for that is the stuff life is made of. As Poor Richard says, how much more than is necessary do we spend in sleep? Forgetting that the sleeping fox catches no poultry, and that there will be sleeping enough in the grave, as Poor Richard says. If time be of all things the most precious, wasting time must be the greatest prodigality, since, as elsewhere tells us, lost time is never found again, and what we call time enough always proves little enough. Let us then up and be doing, and doing to the purpose. So by diligence shall we do more with less perplexity. Sloth makes all things difficult, but industry all easy. And he that riseth late must trot all day, and shall scarce overtake his business at night. White laziness travels so slowly that poverty soon overtakes him. Drive thy business, let not that drive thee. And early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise, or as Poor Richard says, so what signifies wishing and hoping for better times? We may make these times better if we bestir ourselves. Industry need not wish, and those that live upon hope will die fasting. There are no gains without pain. He that hath a trade hath an estate, and he that hath a calling hath and an office of profit and honour. As Poor Richard says, but then the trade must be worked at, and the calling well followed, or neither the estate nor the office will enable us to pay out taxes. Diligence is the mother of good luck, and God gives all things to industry. Then plough deep, while sluggards sleep, and you shall have corn to sell and to keep. Work while it is called today, for you know not how much you may be hindered tomorrow. One today is worth 2 tomorrows, and farther, never leave that till tomorrow which you can do today. Handle your tools without mittens. Remember that the cat in glove catches no mice, as Poor Richard says. I think I hear some of you say, must a man afford himself no leisure? I will tell thee, my friend, what Poor Richard says. Employ thy time well if thou meanest to gain leisure, and since thou art not sure of a minute, throw not away an hour. Leisure is time for doing something useful. This leisure diligent man will obtain, but the lazy man never. But with our industry we must likewise be steady, settled and careful, and oversee our own affairs with our own eyes, and not trust too much to others. For, as Poor Richard says, I never saw an oft-removed tree, nor yurt an oft-removed family, that thrives so well as those that settled there. And again, 3 removes are as bad as a fire, and again, keep thy shop, and thy shop will keep there. Again, if you would have your business done, go, if not send. And again, he that by the plough would thrive himself must either hold or drive. The eyes of the master will do more work than both his hands. And again, want of care does us more damage than want of knowledge. And again, not to oversee workmen is to leave them your purse open. If you would have a faithful servant, and one that you like, serve yourself. A little neglect may breed great mischief. For want of a nail the shoe was lost, for want of a shoe the horse was lost, and for want of a horse the rider was lost, being overtaken and skinned by the enemy, all for want of a little care about a house-shoe and nail. A man may, if he knows not how to save, as he gets, keep his nose all his life to the grindstone, and die not worth a goat at last. A fat chicken makes a lean will, and many estates are spent in the getting, since women for tea forsook spinning and knitting, and men for punch forsook hewing and splitting. If you would be wealthy, think of saving as well as of getting. The Indies have not made many rich because their outgoings are greater than their incomes. This doctrine, my friends, is reason and wisdom. But after all, do not depend too much upon your own industry and frugality and prudence, though excellent things, for they may all be blasted without the blessing of heaven. And therefore ask that blessing humbly, and be not uncharitable to those that at present seem to want it, but comfort and help them. Remember, the job suffered and was afterwards prosperous. And now to conclude, experience keeps a dear school, but fools will learn in no other, as poor Richard says, and scarce in that, for it is true, Gibbies, we may give advice, but we cannot give conduct. However, remember this, they that will not be counselled cannot be helped. And farther, that if you will not hear reason, she will surely rap your knuckles, as poor Richard says,